All right, here we go. So, starting our notes today. Let's see. All right, cool. Vocab right away. So, just a couple reminders about some vocab you need. All right, variables, letters that represent one or more numbers. You can write down those examples. X, Y, and Z. Those are some easy examples for us. The variables. All right, we're going to need to be using that a lot today. Today we're translating expressions, right? Translating expressions. When you translate from English to Spanish, what do?
You have to.
Well, that definitely doesn't work. You really just need to convert the English language to Spanish language, or vice versa, right? Let's say we're converting Spanish to English. Well, then someone who knows both languages would read the Spanish and then rewrite it as English. Well, if we're translating expressions today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be translating English to math. There's a language of math, right? If I said 7 plus 4, would you write down the word 7, S-E-V-E-N, P-L-U-S, space, F-O-U-R? Would you write that? No, none of you would do that because there's a language that we all understand. It's the language of math and numbers and operations, right? If I said 7 plus 4, you would write down 7 plus 4 as symbols, right? So when we translate from English to math, we can do that using symbols, using numbers, using variables, using algebraic expressions. That's what we finished up with. That was Unit 3, right? It was all about algebraic expressions. Those were mathematical phrases with at least one variable. No equal signs. Tomorrow we're talking about equal signs, or next class, I mean. Today we're talking about expressions. Speaking of equal signs, what does the word is mean in math?
Multiplication.
7 plus 4 is?
Equals.
Oh, the same as.
7 plus 4 is?
Answer.
What's the answer? Answer this question. 7 plus 4 is?
11.
Good. So the word is?
Equals.
It'd be equals. 7 plus 4 equals 11, right? So the word is means equals, right? So if the word is not present in a phrase, you don't write down that equal sign, okay? You don't have to write down that equal sign. Now, we're talking about some key words here today, okay? We are going to work together to come up with them. Let's come up with some words that mean addition, okay? What are some words? Saeed? All together. I like that. Cool. What else? Plus. What else? There's a lot. Some. Add. Keep coming. Keep them coming. There's a lot. In total, yeah. Total. Goes into is not addition. That will be division. We got a lot more. Get a pencil. Take your shoe off, get a pencil. Thank you. Yeah. In all. What's 7 increased by 4?
Oh.
Ooh, increased by? Let's see. Total, I think total we have there. Yep, I love that idea.
Could we add an ED to it?
Totaled. I don't think we understand this. But great idea. Yeah? Some of? No, we'll keep with some. That's good. I love the idea though. That's good. Okay, there are two that are a little tougher. Okay, and it's because you actually do it in reverse. Okay? So if we think about this as reverse. So if I do 7 increased by 11, that would be 7 plus 11, right? What if I have 5 greater than 3? Or how about this? I'm older than you, right? So let's just say my age is 17 years greater than yours. How old am I?
Greater than us by 17 years.
It depends on something, right? What does it depend on? Your age. Some of you guys are probably 12, some of you guys are probably 13, right? Okay? So it depends. If I say I'm 17 years older than you, what am I adding? Well, I'm adding your age plus 17. Notice how I said 17 years older than you, but you started with your age and then added mine on, and then added 17. That's where the words greater than and more than come into place. They're reverse. Greater than, and these ones are tricky. Greater than or more than. Right, those two are reverse. If I have $7 more than you, how much money do I have? Well, it depends, right? What does it depend on? How much you have. So you see how it would be in reverse? So if I have $7 more than you, you'd be like, well, my money plus 7. Not 7 plus my money, right? Because it depends on what you're starting with. Stephen, you've got $5. How much money do you have if I have $7 more than you? 12. Because he has $5 and I have 7 more than him. So 5 plus 7. Notice how we started with his 5. Even though I said 7 more than, doesn't 7 come first in that phrase? But when we write it in math, you have to flip it. It'll make more sense when we practice. Okay, let's do subtraction. Let's do subtraction here. Let's go with dark blue. Less than is going to be the reverse one, right?
Oh, I got one.
Reverse would be less than. If I have 7 less than you, then it depends on what you have, right? Okay, let's get some other ones. Desi. Difference. As?
Fewer than.
Fewer than. That's going to be another reverse one, right?
Decrease.
Decrease. We'll say decreased by.
Take away.
Take away, I like it, that's cool.
And
Ooh, she's giving 2. Minus, yep.
she said minus.
Okay.
Subtract.
Subtract. Let me see if we've got them all yet.
Lower than.
We got fewer than. I think this is it that I've got. Take away. Decreased by. Yep. Difference. Minus. Less than and fewer than. That is all that I've got. So notice how less than, fewer than, more than, greater than, those are the reverse ones. If I have 7 less than you, what do I have to start with? Whatever you've got, right? So notice how it's reversed. Okay? Multiplication. Let's get some multiplication words in here. Stephen, what do we got?
Quotient and multiply.
It's not going to be quotient. Quotient is division. But I like just multiplied by. Multiplied by. Ashley? Product is the word you're looking for. Yep. Times. Of. Thank you so much for remembering that one. Do you guys remember when we use of? It's a specific time when we use the word of. So we're working with what special kind of numbers?
Percentages?
Well, I love that idea. Yes, percentages, fractions, and decimals. Typically we see it with fractions, but also with percentages, right? So 20% of $10. So that's with percentages and fractions. That's one people forget a lot, is the word of. And then we've also got some others, yeah.
Repeated.
Repeated. I never thought about that one. Yeah, be like times 2 would be repeated twice. So we'll use like the words twice or triple, quadrupled by. And then some division words. It's a division. Let's start off with what the answer to a division problem would be. You guys remember the answer to a division problem?
I was just gonna say something for multiplication out of.
That is not actually multiplication. That one's going to be a division.
Okay, out of.
I'll put that down here. I want to get the answer to a division problem. Quotient, exactly. Desi.
Going into.
Goes into.
Would this one work?
We won't say dividend. Dividend is a part of a division problem. Great idea, though.
Oh, no, this one weird, because I think this will also be for multiplication, though, like groups. I don't know.
Grouped by. So, like, separated into groups. And yes, Kobe, that does work because that's what division is. Right? Division is grouping. It's how you divide it into groups. I've got, I think, one more, the one that I'm surprised we haven't said yet.
Divided.
Divided by.
Oh.
Divided by. Okay, and that's really it. There is an over, right?
Separated evenly.
Yeah, evenly. So that would, I think actually, Saeed, I think that'll go well into both of these. Like, that's a good combo of those two. It's a great idea just to combo those two, separated evenly, divided by. The word over oftentimes means divided by, right? 12 over 4. It's written as a fraction, right? And fractions are division problems. Okay? Okay. Let's, so this is my original list, just so you know. Let's practice some of these, okay? Write an algebraic expression for each word phrase. So we want to write the expression for this, okay? So a temperature of T degrees increased by 5 degrees. It's an addition problem, right? How would we write that in math and algebra? Using variables and letters and operations.
T plus 5.
T plus 5, absolutely. Awesome. 5 cats fewer than C cats.
Subtraction.
It's a subtraction problem, absolutely.
Oh.
Why do you think I'm hesitating on this one? Anna?
Is it C minus 5?
Yes. Why is it not 5 minus C? But Mr. Strand says 5 minus C.
Because you have to know how many
Fewer than.
cats there is first before you can.
Exactly. You have to. So did you hear what Kobe said? He said you have to know how many cats there are before you can take 5 fewer than them, right? Fewer than is one of those reverse ones, right? One of those flippy ones that we gotta do. Okay? The product of 5 and n nickels.
It don't matter.
5n, I love it. Or 5 dot n, right? Either of those are appropriate. Here's one thing I want you to get rid of. If you wrote this down, change it.
No.
Change it. Why?
It looks like a variable.
It looks like a variable. This looks like 5xn. We're done using the x as a multiplication symbol. We're done. Okay? From here on out, we aren't using x's. We're going to use dots or putting the numbers right next to the letter. Number right next to letter means multiplication. Brenda, question.
Can you also, for 5n, can you also put parentheses n? Like
5 parentheses n. Technically, you could. We want to get rid of those parentheses when we can. It's a great idea, though, because you can multiply by putting a number right next to parentheses. So yeah, you'd want to get rid of those parentheses when you fully simplify it, but yeah, you could. Question on this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So for 8 and number C, right? Since it's like you can use the I want to say it's a certain property no, what is it called? Distributive property. Could you flip it like n times 5 too?
If you did n times 5,
Mm-hmm.
you could. There's a standard format for writing down expressions, and it goes numbers, then letters, then square roots.
Okay.
So that's just kind of the standard way we write them in that order. So typically we want to write numbers, then letters, then square roots in that order. So if you have the opportunity to write it number then letter, we want to write it like that.
Okay.
All right, last one. A dinner bill of $D divided among 5 friends.
D over 5 and D divided by 5.
Exactly, D over 5 or D divided by 5. So we get it right at D over 5 as a fraction, D divided by 5. Pretty straightforward, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go in the reverse, okay? This time you're gonna write a word phrase. I want you looking at I want you talking it over with your neighbor, see if you can come up with one that you're gonna write down, and then talk about it and see if you can come up with a couple more. Go. Talk with your neighbor and see if you can't come up with another couple that you're talking through. You should be writing it out in words. That's okay. You guys can talk about all 4 of them, if you'd like. Go through all 4 of them, that's fine. We'll go through a bunch of different options for these. Talk through them all, please. Come up with more. Once you've got your 4 written down, come up with another one for all 4. Come up with another one for all 4. So you got one option written down. You have a bunch of words up there. Cool. Now once you got another one, I want you to talk about it. So 9 times 9 or 9 squared. I'll give you about 1 more minute. I'll start showing some.
You have to put a number.
These are 4 that I came up with. I don't think there are too many others, but there could be some more, right? The sum of a number x and 2. Did anybody do 2 more than a number? To be kind of a little trickier. 2 more than a number. Why is it phrased that way? Why did I say 2 more than a number x? Ashley?
You don't know what x is, you do more than that number.
Yeah, you have to do x first, and then to get 2 more than it, right? If you want 2 more than something, what do you have to have first? That something. You have to have that something first if you want 2 more than it. Be like, I want 2 more cookies. Have you had any cookies to begin with? Well, no, Mr. Strand. I'd like 2 more than 0. Go ahead and give me 2 cookies, please. Anybody? Anybody? Cookies? You guys know I love cookies. All right. Now this one, we got our p over 3 would be the first one that I would say, p over 3. But here's some options. A number p divided by 3, a quotient of a number p and 3.
P grouped by 3?
Yep, p grouped into, separated into 3 even groups.
Do you have to put a number?
Yeah, I typically want to say a number p.
Okay.
Yeah. Ashley?
Now, for goes into, would it be 3 goes into p?
Yeah, and typically I avoid goes into, because it can be a little confusing about which one to use. I typically avoid goes into. Also, I also often say bless you after you say goes into. Bless you. So I'd C minus 50. I think that was the first one I came up with, right? C minus 50. How many people did that one right away? 50 less than number C. This one's a little tricky, right? That one's cool. That's the flipped one. Everybody do this? These are some other options that I had.
We put decreased.
Decreased by? Yep. So C decreased by 50. That's appropriate as well. Any others that didn't make it on my list?
Yeah, C decreased by 50.
Decreased by 50, yep. 50 subtracted from, and notice subtracted from. That's important that it's in that order. 50 subtracted from a number C. I think that this one's pretty straightforward. 9 times y, right? How many people use 9 times y? Let's be honest, that's the easiest one. Hopefully you talked about some others as per the instructions. The product of 9 and a number, or 9 multiplied by y, multiplied by. So, which ones of these are reversed? Notice the ones that need reverse, right? 2 more than a number x, or 50 less than 50 subtracted from. Notice those 2-word phrases a lot of times are the flipped ones. Okay?
For also number D, you can go, you're left with 9 multiplied by number y. Can you put like 9 times the number y?
Yep, that's this one.
Oh, alright.
Good question. All right, you have this. Don't worry, those columns are not actually due for you. Sorry. Forgot to change that. I'll be assigning cons tomorrow.
No.
I don't remember what number this is, what assignment number it is.